What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be kind of sticking with the same subject with the KSI and Logan fight. I want to do a bit of a preview and have a look at the build-up that's been going on for the last few months, and kind of try and get an idea if either of the dudes have actually got an edge for this fight. Because unless you're a die-hard fan, you're in the Logan, or if you're a massive KSI supporter, then realistically, it's very tough to call. I mean, obviously you're going to have your favourites, but it's a really interesting matchup, I think, anyway. But before we get into that, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that checked out the latest video that I uploaded, which was the, obviously, reaction to Logan Paul's latest diss track. I just did that as a quick, throw it together, watching it for the first time, and I didn't expect it to get half as many views as it has, so thank you all so much for checking it out. Right, so if we're looking at characteristics of Logan and KSI, then obviously both physically, their physical appearance is insane. The transformation that JJ has gone through in a very short space of time is unbelievable, really. And then obviously Logan's always been this athletic dude that's kept himself in shape, so Logan's obviously got the weight advantage as well, and he's still extremely muscular, so it's not like he's had to put this weight on and then turn that into muscle. Do you know what I mean? He's used to being at that weight, in that shape, so it's not like he's going to gas himself out. I think a big deciding factor in this fight will obviously be the training camps that both fighters have gone through, but we haven't seen any of Logan's, really. Obviously KSI has been uploading pretty regular videos of himself training with different people, which I've really enjoyed personally, because I'm a big fighting fan in general. I love MMA, UFC, Bellator and everything, so to see him training with people like Michael Venom Page and Michael Bisping, it's been really cool. It's been a good little insight. So I kind of would have liked to see more, see anything from Logan's camp as well, because it's nice to as a viewer to feel involved and to see the journey from day one to especially with KSI from before the Joe Weller fight, watching his first training thinking you're gonna get slapped up here, to where he is now. I mean, obviously he didn't really have to do too much to prove himself against Joe, which again makes this Logan fight even more interesting, because I'm well, what do we have to go off here? Obviously both guys have got the work ethic, and their self-belief is unreal. Both dudes, I've been watching the True Geordie podcast this week, and shout out to him, by the way, he's literally the most real dude on YouTube. But both his podcasts with KSI and Logan, they're both just what are you asking me for? I'm gonna win. I've already won. I mean, Logan was probably a bit more real, because he was saying that, yeah, it is a fight. I'm not gonna deny the fact that I could get caught with something, because it's a fight at the end of the day. Whereas KSI was just I've already won. So they've both got this mental strength and confidence that they are gonna get the job done. So they're inseparable there as well. Going back to the training camps for just a second though, obviously I was just saying about the fact that JJ's trained with the likes of Bisping. It's really interesting and really fucking confusing, because he trained with Bisping on two separate occasions. One earlier on in the camp, and then I think they trained again at the UFC Institute building thing later on too. And they were both specific training sessions for this fight against Logan. And then while I was looking for bits of footage to obviously put over the top of this video, I came across a podcast that Bisping had been in, where he's literally slating JJ and Logan, saying, oh, you're making a mockery of the sport, stay in your lane. And I'm over here you've trained him for this fight. You weren't saying anything to him then. You could have refused if it was that much of a big deal to you. But I think that he's just saw how much publicity these guys get, and he's just jealous, basically. Do you know what I mean? Because these guys, yeah, okay, they're not from a boxing background, which was his problem. He's oh, we've had to work from the bottom. So have they, just in a different field. Do you know what I mean? And he's saying stay in your lane, but why? If you've got the determination to do something else, you can't just tell someone, oh,
you can't start doing that. You didn't decide to do it when you were 6 years old.
But I'll play you the clip now, and let me know what you think in the comments as well.
It's a generational thing. You know, people didn't really become YouTubers when I was younger. It's a new thing, and they're very successful. They make a ton of money off it. So I'm not bothered by that. I mean, that's great, but stay in your lane. Stay in your lane to a certain degree. I actually watched any of the YouTube stuff. I know that KSI has a good presence. You know, I've met him a few times. I've actually trained him at the Performance Institute.
You trained him for this fight specifically that he has coming up.
That's right. A while ago, I was in London, and through the UFC again, we did like some joint stuff. So I trained him then. And then recently, when I did some video game thing for the UFC, I was at the Performance Institute, and me and Forrest Griffin did some training then as well. And maybe I'm wrong here. I find it almost insulting to everybody that has dedicated their life to being a fighter, come up the hard way, been a lifelong boxer or a martial artist or whatever. And then this guy and these two come in, they're almost making a mockery out of the sport of boxing or mixed martial arts or whatever it is by doing this.
Okay, Michael. Yeah, no problem, bro. The one thing that I could separate the two guys on was the way that they handled themselves in the press conferences. Because, okay, like, let's be real, both press conferences were an absolute clusterfuck, and there was no control, there was no... It should have been more like a boxing press conference as opposed to the McGregor-Mayweather press conference where you just take it in turns to like absolutely slam each other into the ground. Do you know what I mean? It should have been a sit-down panel and questions asked, which I think we would have got to eventually, but there just wasn't any control there. I do, however, think that KSI was the better part. Like, he handled himself better out of the two guys in both press conferences as well, actually, because it did seem like Logan lost his cool. Obviously, when he tried to grab JJ's bandana because he got pissed off with him, and then obviously he got emotionally overwhelmed at the London press conference when he walked out. And to be honest, I can't blame him for that, because for anyone to sit there and take that much shit off that many people is unbelievable. Like, it's fucking dark, man. Yeah, I think it was a small sign of weakness that he showed there. But as I say, I can't blame him for that, because that's an incredibly hard situation to be in, do you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think that that's going to, like, obviously play a factor in the fight, because I don't know, in the podcast, which has obviously been since then, he doesn't seem like mentally affected by it, do you know what I mean? He's probably learnt from it, if anything, but to me at the time it did seem like JJ had got into his head a bit. And talking about that as well, I didn't really like the way that JJ was like going in on his family and his girlfriend or whatever. Like I don't hide the fact that I don't really like the dude that much, but I just think, man, it's just keep it between you two. Do you know what I mean? It's a boxing match at the end of the day, like between you two. Like, you don't need to start calling his dad a pedo, even if he is. Do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking keep it between you guys. So to summarise, I'm gonna be supporting JJ because obviously I'm from the UK and everything. But in my head, I really think there's going to be an upset, and I think Logan's going to beat him. But that won't stop me from supporting him, man. I'm going to get behind the UK boys, and fingers crossed. Let's just hope that it's a brawl. I want to see a fucking war. Regardless of what the outcome is, though, I'm going to be doing like a review video of a couple of the fights probably from the night. Like going through, looking at the best bits and like a bit of an analysis. Like, I'm not saying I'm a boxing expert or anything, but I think it would be pretty cool to like look through some of the footage after and like hear from you guys what your favourite parts were and stuff too. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please get a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And yeah, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.